Kapa Hawaiian FM 100.3, 99.1, and online at kaparadio.com. Another edition of the Kapa Cafe. And as promised, joining us today, he needs no introduction, Henry Kapono. Aloha mai.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. We are fabulous, and we are excited to have you come and grace the stages of the Kahilu Theater. But first, we want to find out what's been happening since the last time we talked to you.
Cool. Wow. So a lot of things have happened, and then COVID hit, and then
Right.
now everything's starting to slowly come back. But it's good. You know, I mean, there was good things about COVID, and just being shut down wasn't good, but a lot of good things that came out of it. I started got my foundation going, and we supported musicians, Hawaii musicians, almost 360 of them, families.
Wow.
We raised $200,000 and gave out Foodland gift cards, $500 Foodland gift cards. So it really helped at that time because everybody got shocked and didn't know what to do, and so that kind of helped them to kind of think it out. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad we did it. It was it was a feel good thing, and it was just a good thing to do. I lost all my gigs, so I knew what it was like.
Yeah, right. Now, you also, the thing that was, Jazz and I were talking about this off air, that, one of the things that Henry Kapono has done and continues to do is stay very relevant. And that no matter what time, pandemic or not, you've continued to push the envelope. And I've watched how you've taken the Henry Kapono Aloha and taking it online to your website.
Oh yeah, it's all about aloha. That's what that's how we grew up, and that's how I grew up, and that's what my parents taught me. And it's aloha if everybody in the world had aloha, this world would be at peace.
We were talking about you the other day too, as well, and we were saying how in the industry, at least for my end, you kind of remind me of like Gene Simmons and Kiss, somewhat, where you're much more handsome. But in the fact of how you've created a brand and you've continued to create a career and create other opportunities off of that brand. But the reason why I wanted to bring that up is because you come from an era where that type of brand can continue on for decades because of the music. What advice do you have to musicians and artists nowadays to be able to accomplish what you've accomplished, to take what music they're doing and to continue to either grow off of it or continue to do business off of the original music?
Right. It's so different now with the digital platforms, and I mean, you can do it yourself, or you can try and get a record label. I ended up doing it myself, just because I needed to have some kind of control on what I wanted to do. I was fortunate to be with the world's biggest record company, and I learned a lot from that. I learned that you don't make a whole lot of money being with them, but you get popular. And we actually, what the best part that came out of that was we had 3 great albums that still sustain my career and Cecilia's career till today. And so the advice, I said, you have to really, really want to be a part of it. And you're going to face a lot of ups and downs, and a lot of downs, but there's only up after that. So you just got to stay in it, believe in yourself, and believe what you have, and listen to your heart, and do what feels right. Not what feels right to everybody else, but what feels right to you, because that makes it more genuine when you're doing it from you, and not from whatever everybody tells you how you should do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. Back then, did you write for what the trend was, or were you guys just doing you at that time?
Oh, we're just having a good time, and we're just living the lifestyle that Hawaii had at the time.
Yeah.
And you know, as we hung around, I hung around out with um, a lot of guys in Waimanalo. Like Gabby was out there. Grew up with hung out with Billy Cowie and uh, um, that Kalapana. All of those groups, Olamana. We're all hung out in Waimanalo. So we got to know each other, and then things started to pick up for us, and then we got to kind of separate it in our own good ways, and focus on what we love to do.
Wow. What do you remember? When you guys are gathering before you all became what has happened, what was it like when you guys were gathering? What was a typical day like in an afternoon, Waimanalo afternoon?
Well, we would get stoned a lot. Of course, I couldn't say that back then, but that usually started the day, and then we got real creative, and we had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it was it was a great experience. We made friends before we became professionals. And that made a big difference, because then we got to understand and respect each other, and we all had our own little sound. And
yeah, right. That's the thing. You all had your own sound. Now, what do you remember? Because your genre, I mean, is different than your typical traditional Hawaiian. But when you were around Gabi Pahinui or the boys, did you find yourself jamming along with those slacky tunes as well?
Yeah, but I didn't feel like I was worthy enough because they were so good. But I learned, just being around them, and
Yeah.
just feeling their vibe, and understanding how they think. So it was a learning process, and I listen a lot and I watch a lot. I think that's what keeps me going. Is that like nowadays I'll see what's going on, and really there's not a whole lot going on. I mean, everything sounds the same, and you don't know who's who, and
Right.
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 so like back then everybody had their own signature sound.
Yeah.
You knew who it was, and
Man, that's such a good point. You don't know who is who nowadays. Such a
yeah,
good
I
point.
mean the sound all sounds the same.
Yeah.
Use the same programs and the same cut and paste, and
Yeah.
they sing the same way, and
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
but
True that.
it's it's their era, and that's what they do, and they're happy with that.
We live in what we call a remix era, a
Yeah,
cover era, where we're kind of
yeah,
just everybody just kind of redoing something that existed already.
right, right. It's a cut and
Now,
paste there.
Henry, Uncle, you have a cut and paste there. I like that. I'm
I
gonna
love
use that. I'm gonna hashtag that. Now you get to perform with, or I guess as your backup musicians, you get to choose whoever you like. Who doesn't want to play with Henry Kapono? I saw you guys in the studio the other night. One of my mentors, Wendell, and you have. I saw that you in the studio have your band configuration. Is it Wendell Lopaka Colon? And I wasn't familiar with the upright bass player that I saw.
Yeah, Matt Krahula. He's from New York. He moved
Ah,
here a couple years ago, and he just happened to fit in as my other bass player was leaving to go to Boston, and then take care of be with his family. So he just worked out great. Great guys. The span I have is just amazing. They're just good guys, and I think that's important when you have put a band together, is to have guys that communicate with each other, enjoy each other's presence, and Lopaka's been with me for 15 years.
wow.
Yeah, and then Matt is pretty new. He's only been with me maybe almost 2 years. And then Wendell just started with me maybe 3, 4 months, 5 months ago.
Wow,
So
wow.
it's kind of a new band, but they've been around.
Yeah.
Wendell's been around a long time. So
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. What can we
So we
expect
did.
to see? You're going to bring these particular guys to the Kahilu Theater. What do we
Yeah, we're
expect?
excited to play tonight. So it's gonna be fun, and usually I'm there with solo, just me and my guitar, which I love. And but this time with the band, it's just kind of like makes it a little more fun, special.
Are you still rocking the old faithful white guitar?
I do, yeah. I
Yeah.
play that,
We were
and then
talking about that.
and
That
then
white guitar has stories, huh?
it does, and then I play my Telecaster, which I do play on at Duke's all the time. So
Ah,
so I'll bring both of them and my ukulele, my white ukulele.
Of course.
It's a mini me of my white guitar.
Now, one thing I always wanted to ask you is like when bands or musicians rehearse with you, like what are you guys rehearsing? Because who doesn't know your songs?
Yeah, I know. That makes it easy. So then
Right?
we can learn. We can learn new stuff.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
yeah, it gives us that opportunity to kind of further our music
Right.
dialogue or catalog. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's good. They all know the C&K songs. They know my songs, so it gives me an opportunity to write new songs and introduce that to them, and they love it.
Awesome.
It's a good thing.
That's awesome. That's so
That is
awesome.
awesome. Uncle, where can everybody tell us more about your foundation and the website?
The foundation, well, we have our website is, you know, we have a really good person that's handling the website now. She's new with us, and she's done a great job. But it just gives information to musicians to know where to go, where there's funding for whatever they're working with, they're working on, and we're also giving out grants as well to musicians who need help either with their programs or with their workshops. So we're always looking for some way to help
Wow.
all these musicians.
Man, I didn't know you do all that. I need to go on there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
awesome.
know.
Well, of course, we're excited to see you at the Kahilu Theater. And for everybody who's listening, one of the really awesome things about this performance is that for those that maybe can physically get to the Kahilu Theater, they can always subscribe and watch the show live at kahilu.tv. And that's always been so awesome. Paul and the gang do an amazing job with the sound and the lighting, and watching it from your home. If you choose to, you can see Henry Kapono and band in the luxury of your living room, or face to face at the Kahilu Theater. How about Facebook and any social media platforms we can follow you on?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. I do Dukes on Sunday, live from 5 to 6, and people from all over the world join me, and a lot of people just make it their destination when they visit Hawaii. They come to Dukes. So this
Are
is
you
the
still
Dukes.
coming
This,
to?
this is my Dukes band. So
Yeah.
Are you still coming to the Royal Kona Resort every month?
I am. I play third Thursdays.
Third Thursday. All right.
Then I play at Lava Lava in Waikoloa on the third Friday.
Wow.
Ooh,
Awesome.
still busy.
Yeah, those it's I'm real fortunate. I'm so real grateful that like you said, staying relevant, to be relevant, you just gotta listen, and you gotta feel what's around you,
Yeah.
and how do you accept it, and how do you make use of it, and good use of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you
I'm
always
still-
for your
still learning.
words.
I'm still learning, so that's a
Well, let me
tell
tell
the
you,
kids.
I just giggle and I laugh because I was waiting for you to tell me that, if it's a family plan here where you have your kids, the teenagers running your social media yet, I mean.
No,
I was
they're
going to ask
not.
if the twins were in the band yet.
They're too busy. They're too busy on their computers. But
Thank you so much.
actually getting my daughter to work with me on some stuff. But my son actually, when I go on tour, they go with me, and my son also helps set me up and get me
Awesome.
going. So,
Awesome. You got to.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
And you can travel with your family.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, everybody, Henry Kapono, Kahilu Theater this evening. Don't miss out.
Good night.
Mahalo nui.
Thanks,
God-
Uncle.
All right, you guys take care. God bless. Aloha.
Yes. Aloha.